Okay, so I actually fixed my bug from yesterday. But now I created a new one. Oh, when I'm streaming, my frame rate drops. When I'm not streaming, this is at 100 frames. It's still slow, but... So there's a bug right now. I unlock the frames, and now it makes this not loop. Every other one loops correctly. So I'm thinking it's caused by the fact that this level has only a single frame. Because as soon as I add some other frame, now it loops. So there's a reason for that this is not looping. So let's go investigate that. Bound explosion, okay, that's fine. Obstacle time, game time. So this here, latest obstacle, I call that. For int I. If live obstacle does not equal... Okay, so this doesn't work when there's only one frame in a level. Why? Or why does it sometimes work and not? So I'm looping from the end down to 0. And I'm stopping as soon as my current obstacle, if it's smaller than the total time. This is not gonna help. Fine, let's try it anyway. Actually, this is meaningless if I don't have the other message to go with it. Next obstacle. Huh. I'm surprised it actually writes this twice. Sometimes only once, and sometimes it does it twice. Is that considered a mistake? Here it's only once. Once. Here it wrote it twice. This total time, I use a mod. So I do the start time, which is smaller than this, which is bigger. Okay, so the bigger minus the smaller one gives me the amount of running time. But then I mod it with the loop time. Interesting. Can I harvest that? And loops. I wonder why do I absolutely want to. Doesn't work because of my parentheses. Oh, but I did ask for an. Let's not get an in. Let's get a float. Double. Nice. Okay, so now I have a certain thing that's called loops. What does this variable show? Hey Shorty Mino, how are you doing? Yes, live obstacle is not equal to that, and loops is smaller or equal to 1. Maybe. Okay, the wrong one. Bigger. Hey Suvi, long time no see. Next loop equals that. It's bigger or equal to 1. Okay. Maybe this. Oh, never mind, that's bad. Yeah. Oops. It doesn't even kill me all the time. Thanksgiving, yeah, we did that like 2 months ago. You guys are late. Surgery, oh. I am eating turkey though. Or something. Or loops is bigger than 1 and shit. Okay. Have an idea now. Start time, public, double, current, loop. Current loop equals 0. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's try it. That's bigger than 1, that's fine. Loops that, and that's going to be bigger. In other words, current loop minus that. So loops is bigger than 1 and live obstacle if it equals latest obstacle. That almost works. No. It's actually going down. Huh. Okay, let's remove that from there. Perfect. Oh, actually, yeah, perfect. Loops. Current loop minus loops if it's bigger than 1. Now surely this works. Oh. Right. What's up? Weird stuff is up. Ah, shit. This is like so dumb. This whole code that I just wrote is like really bad. Okay. Here's what I need to do. Current loop. What am I doing? A row pyramid. I think you just did. Here's what I'm doing. Right now there's a bug where the first level doesn't loop. But for some reason sometimes it does loop, which makes sort of no sense, but whatever. The other ones are all fine. Why do I write bad code? Because it's so fun to fix bad code. Huh? Yeah, right there, it just did it twice and then it stopped. But as soon as I add a second frame, even if it's empty, now it's perfect. Anyways, so now I'm fixing that. Equals this. Hey Ed, one, welcome to the stream. I need to remove all that current loop idea. This is like bad. Like even if I make it work, it's bad. Let's remove all that I just wrote, because I'm like fighting my system when I'm writing code like that. Oops. Okay. Are you native? I am. But I lived most of my life out of there. Actually, the more weird thing is that this bug only happens when I unlock the frames. So I did this thing right here where it allows my game to run at more than 60 frames. And this, when I remove those two lines, which, yeah, now it works. Bummer. That's not a word. So somehow this makes something in here not work. But I understand the bug. I understand why it happens. But I don't understand why it doesn't happen. Like the bug is so bad that it should always happen, but sometimes it doesn't bug. So the fact that there's no bug is weird. Like it only bugs in one specific case. And then I can print. So this is how this looks. And if I remove that, why does it work? It makes no sense. Oh wait, is that the reason? It works when it's at the 0. Wait. Huh. So when it's 0, oh, okay, I understand now the bug. Yeah. So when it's 0, it doesn't. So the total time 0 is not bigger than this time, which is also 0. Okay. So latest obstacle is null, and since it's null, then it's not equal to the current live obstacle. Okay. I wonder if I should just change that to being smaller or equal. That way it always glitches. So now, no matter what, it's always broken. So now, even in this case right there, it's not broken. I mean, now it's broken all the time, even there. Yeah. Perfect. So now it's never gonna work ever. Okay. Yeah, that was actually a bug. The fact that this was a smaller and not a smaller or equal. So this is the full condition that works. So while in practice, no one would ever notice this bug right there, the fact that this was there, it was still a bug. And maybe this could have stayed there for 100 years and no one would have ever cared. But at least now it's fixed. When so much pain flows from our so-called life, well, maybe it's time to change. A choice that you can make. You can't go bigger, stronger, faster every day. With all you wanted and love strangled into. I guess that's not what I'm doing right now. Do you fight what's real? Do you want to fucking feel? But you can't. Okay. And on and on and on. Do what the teachers say. You're strangled into gray. And on and on and on. You do what the doctors say. You're strangled into gray. Oh. So live obstacle makes no sense if I don't also know its timing. Yeah. Okay, now that makes sense. Public double. Okay, let's call it that. So a double live obstacle real time. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Should I just initiate this to 0 or should I leave it null? So right in here I need a new check now. I don't know if I need to put the 0 there. Okay, what's the time? The absolute perfect time on this. Is it... Latest obstacle equals level dot obstacle list that the time plus start time. Could that be good? No, it's not good at all. Plus total milliseconds minus start time. Now that would make sense. Okay. Latest obstacle real time. Okay. So if it doesn't equal that, and or obstacle real time, live obstacle real time. Something like that. Or
Maladif est trop bien démodé, aussi mal coiffé qu'écrasé, j'entretiens la gueule négligée.
Okay, not exactly that.
J'esquive conseils et préjugés, défilés, dégueux, les télés, de fashion, victime décalquée. Délirante planète, j'attends qu'on vienne me réveiller. Je veux retourner d'où je viens. C'est bon, j'ai vu ce qu'est devenu la terre dégénérée. Je veux retrouver tous les miens. Vernissage et
This shouldn't change anything,
la
but
beauté de design en folie. Je suis comme un ovni dans Paris.
yeah.
Un garbouseux que je suis perd son temps pour des conneries. Urbanité, quelle maladie.
In other words,
Délirante planète, j'attends qu'on vienne me réveiller. Je veux retourner d'où je viens.
oh, because I'm using the current total millisecond.
La terre dégénérée, je veux retrouver tous les miens.
So the latest thing is always going to be wrong.
D'addiction, pas drogué de la course.
Ah, this is hard.
Remontant pour des ronds. Encerclé de vicieux moutons, ligoté dans la fosse au lion. J'ai peur de devenir aussi con. Délirante planète, j'attends qu'on vienne me réveiller. Je veux retourner d'où je viens. C'est bon, j'ai vu ce qu'est devenu la terre dégénérée. Je veux retrouver tous les miens. Délirante planète, j'attends qu'on vienne me réveiller. Je veux retourner d'où je viens. C'est bon, j'ai vu ce qu'est devenu la terre dégénérée. Je veux retrouver tous les miens.
What? You're shitting me? I do have advices if you want to know. So I'm guessing you don't know anything about programming at all. Baguette. I can give you like a quick start guide, quick start course right now if you want. So that you at least understand what it means to program. I don't know why my I tried to open a program and it's not opening. Okay, exactly. It's not latest obstacle time. We don't care about the time. Latest obstacle loop. That's what this is. And this is an int. Okay. Why is there an error on this guy? Oh, because I put an equal. Fuck me. I know how to code a little bit, like how to console programs with simple algorithms, but when I try to do proper an application with monogame in C#, I'm lost. Okay, so I'm guessing you already understand like the syntax, what functions are, how to start variables, how to assign numbers to them or values. I'm guessing you already know about stuff like control structures, so for loops, if loops, else. Okay. Finally, a program that can open. So New Milton canvas, perfect. Give me a sec here. I forgot how to change that. Perfect, okay. Wait. Why can you answer before it even says the question? Why are you ahead of me? That's not fair. What do you mean? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't actually know what you mean, but I'm guessing I responded to the thing before you wrote it. Okay. So essentially, mono game. Yeah, Twitch delay, obviously. I mean, even E has a lot of lag, and I can tell. Mono game. It's actually really simple, because all mono game is, or like the bare bones, is like you have two big things. Some update. So this function is something where you have your game logic, or rather there's some sort of loop going on. I'm gonna start with this sort of explanation. So in mono game, oh, I'm zoomed way out. Whatever. Brain lag. Or it's almost the same for all the gaming frameworks, but anyway. So in mono game, what you have is some sort of update where this is where some sort of code happens. And then you also have a big draw. Oh, yeah. And this is essentially a draw loop too. So it does your drawing stuff, your rendering. Okay, so I'm gonna reread your question just to make sure that I'm responding to the right thing. So I know how to code a little bit, like how to do console programs with simple algorithms, but when I try to do properly an application with monogame and C#, I'm lost. Okay, I'll just back down just a little bit before I say. Like the first part is getting set up. So the setup is making your project, like starting the project, where you have a directory with all your files. So are you at least able to start a monogame project and at least compile it so that it at least gives you the blue screen on monogame? Let's say I go check monogame. For example, if you look at this website, game development launchpad for monogame, let's go on the crash course. Introduction. I'm assuming you must have seen this before. Installing Visual Studio. First Hello World program. Hello World. So this guide tells you how to create a new project, where to click. Brief tour of Visual Studio. Okay, that's saving your project. Modifying your project. Oh, that guy's literally going through an actual Hello World. I thought he would do. Oh, that's cool. Socialize the program. Well, I discovered that I do, I guess. Comment. Oh, that guy is literally giving you a C#. Oh, I guess I could have read the title. C# craft course. Okay, so this is not even monogame. This is literally programming courses a bit. Or he's showing you the tools in the C# language. Okay, so getting started is more interesting. Okay, I don't want to see that. Installing monogame. Create a monogame game from the template. So exactly, so this thing is the template. It gives you the game class. Okay, I see. So are you able to at least, so I'm guessing you are since you just responded. So you're at least able to see this blue screen. But then you don't know what to do. I backtracked all the way here just to make sure that I'm not explaining something too far away. So I'm guessing your problem is like actually starting to do a game and then you don't know what to do. That guy explains it almost the same way that I do. Cool stuff. So if you're at least able to get up to here, then you know how to set up. You guys have a crazy big delay. Where are you from at Wawan, by the way? Hey Gunnar. What's up? Oh friends, bienvenue dans notre paisible stream. RIP. You like it or not? Cause baguette. Isn't there an emote just for that? Taco left, taco right. If you want to be able to make a game, the big part is to understand all the different pieces required to make the game. So if you start to make your game, then you say, okay, I want to make a Mario Bros. Clone. So you know that you're gonna be having some sort of platforms. Maybe you're gonna have your little guy that can just run over those platforms, and maybe he's able to jump up to the next platform. So you start to plan the game and you start to think about what is it that you're gonna need in that game. So you know you want to jump, maybe you want to do some sort of attacks, so launching different fireballs. And maybe you know that the fireballs, they have some sort of physics to them. So you start to think, okay, so what's a platform? So what's the concept of terrain? How is this coded? Do I need gravity? Or some sort of physics? Or... So you start to think about like these things in like the big physics. You need to think about like the high thing. What's a unit, or what's a player, or a, like the way you code the player, is it the same way that you code your little are they coded exactly the same as your enemies? So do you have like, for in my game I have the concept of a unit, and for me a unit is pretty much everything. Let's get rid of that because this makes no more sense. Nice mushrooms. So for me in my game, like the player is a unit, so it means it has different options like to move, so I can order it to move somewhere. But the explosions too are units, and units have like different attributes, like being able to be animated. So the player right now is not animated, but he could be. The explosions, they move, like the images, they change over time. So this is a unit. So when you start, you need to think about like, what is it, like how do you do music? What's a sound effect? And how is it different to music? And then you can start to think about how to draw stuff. Can you draw rectangles? Can you draw circles? So basic shape. Yeah. So at least you're able to do this step. Which is kind of easy because you don't need to really understand what you're thinking about. But you sort of just need to understand that there will be some terrain. I don't know how it will be coded, but I know I will need to have something that represents a terrain in the game. So those sort of blocks. Then maybe later you want to learn how to draw images. So yeah, making game is kind of complicated when you think about it. Then maybe you want to start to think. Yeah, anyway. So how do you figure out how to organize? How do I do it? Okay. First of all, what do you know about a player or a unit? Or... yeah, there isn't a wrong way. But in order to know how to organize yourself, you need to understand the requirements. So for a player, okay, for a unit, I know that if anything, a unit needs at least a position. So it needs to have a position X, Y. Later you're gonna have to determine what is a position. Is it a vector? Is it a vector too, or is it coded something else? Should a unit have the moving code? Should it know how to move? Should it know about its size? know if I... Should it know about the size of itself? And then later you want to think about how is the size computed? Also later, do you want to determine the position? Is the position from the top left, the center, some part in the bottom of the player? And then based on where you determine this X and Y to be, like let's say you determine, okay, I want the player's coordinates to always be in the center of itself. Well, then when it's time to think about the size, while you know that this is size, for example, 10, then you start to think about, okay, well, there's 5 on this side and 5 on this side. So based on what you choose, it changes the way that your system works. Perhaps a unit needs a texture or an image to represent it. So when you say draw the unit, actually what you're doing is you're drawing an image at a position with a certain size. So as you start to think about these things, like then you start to build on top. So at the start I only had a unit which only had a position, but then you might want to start to think about other things. What sort of functions? In mine it's kind of simple, I think. Unit. My units have a location, which is a class location. It also has a list of waypoints. So essentially where it's going. So not only where it's at, it also knows where it's going in the future. It also knows where it's been in the past. So I visited a certain amount of locations. It knows about its animated sprite, so a sheet with all the textures, and it knows if it's visible or not. Also, it's the speed. And then I have different functions like clear order, like stop everything you're doing, add a waypoint, so go towards somewhere. Then another complicated version. And then there's an update method where I'm updating the location, but I'm trying to compute where I'm at now. So if I'm moving, I'm computing the new location, and then I'm determining if I'm visible. So update has a side effect of telling me if I'm still visible. Then there's some stuff where it can compute arrival time, everything. I have a draw. So the guy is like, if I'm visible, draw myself. And then I can also set the location. And for me, the location is in the top left. So then I have different utility functions like get width, get height, get the top left, which is just the location, get bottom, get top, get bottom right, get middle, get top left. Interesting. Oh, that's really cool actually. So I made functions for if I was here, where would be my top left? If I was here, where would be my bottom left? So instead of using the same way as the other one, the location, for those things I'm using this location. It's kind of interesting idea. Then get last location. Anyway, so a lot of it is just breaking down what you're doing. And then keep a to-do list of what you're trying to do. And also a higher level thing where Where's my higher level? Project planning. So in my project, when I started, I wrote this. Some stuff I knew I would need. I knew I needed pathfinding. I wanted something that loaded levels without any loading. Map structure, ways to sync obstacles with the right timing, game art, music, sound effects. So game art, I considered perhaps pixel art. I don't think that's what's gonna happen, but because I think it's too limited. Sound effects, animation system, story, perhaps not needed. Do I need to write some lore, or is the game interesting enough already? Gameplay time, how long should it take to beat the game? So those are like different things. Multiplayer mode. Characters look. Yeah, I knew that. So yeah, in order to do Roller Coaster 2 Tycoon in assembly, the guy that made it had to really understand everything. Or not really, well, I mean, I meant that, but what this means is actually, like he codes every single system one by one, and then he builds on top of what he has. So while he's still using assembly, the basic code for everything doesn't need to be seen once it's written. Does that make sense? Like he makes it, like at some point I'm guessing when you make the game in assembly, even though you're still in assembly, you're still higher level than the bottom. Oh, by the way, I bought a game yesterday. And it's actually an assembly. I didn't try it yet. TIS 100. Can't wait to try it. This thing. Center spawn point. It's actually really easy. But right now my system doesn't allow me to center the spawn point. Oddly enough, this game has like it's all positive. There's like 36 negative reviews. The actual puzzle solving gets to just quickly. Like this is a plus for most people. To do something like that. You get annoyed. That's like the whole point of the game. Like to fight the system, and with your limited tools you end up making a mansion. Anyways, I bought that game. I'm not sure if I even answered your question or if I just got carried away or... Anyway, while I explained this, I figured out how to solve what I was trying to do. Let's get rid of all that. Nice. Okay, live obstacle loop. Loop count. So the right now, which loop am I in? Divided by level dot loop time. Okay. Loop count, let's try that. This is gonna give me something. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, that works. Now, live obstacle does not equal live obstacle. I go with this. Live obstacle loop equals loop count. If okay, actually that's wrong. Yeah. Loop count. Does that work? It works. Well, that was kind of really beautiful solution right there. Did you make a text adventure? I think I wanted to do one at some point in my life. I think I might have done one. Even those even the shitty graphics kind of look good when there's a shadow around them. Oops. Yeah. I know, I mean, you're not the only one. Everyone does that, I think. But at some point you need to be able to determine if commented out code is still useful. I wonder if I have a lot here. And there's a bunch of things here. Like this is a good example of useless commented out code. I don't actually know what I just deleted, but I'm sure it was useless code. This right here is useful commented out code. Because what it does here is it, for each key that's been pressed, print them. Done press list. So now I know which keys are pressed. So at some point I could delete this, but then at some point I might have to recode that. This here is probably useless, but I'm still keeping it. I have projects where there's a lot more. This here, I wonder what that is. Border stuff, yeah. Wow, when I'm streaming, the frames, they drop so much. I wonder why. Like, it's down to 50. When I'm not streaming, it goes up to 100. And while 100 is still really slow, it's weird. Even though this, like, all the steps are exactly perfectly uniform, at this point I hear a different sound based on what's going on. So I already know, so I always know when to go in or something. Ah, shit, misposition. Can't believe it. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Ah, I went up. Yeah. This one is so fun actually. Now, it used to be the worst level design and now it's nice. Oops. Yeah. Beat the whole game, nice. Okay, so now this thing here is fixed. Weird bug where... Okay, fix the keyframe moving behavior. In other words, fix my level editor. Today I noticed that I was like biting my lips or something. Now they're so dry today. So this level editor sucks. I need to be able to drag on it. Yeah. So I need to be able to move my cursor while dragging. Oh, but first things first. Oh, mistake. Division by 0, what is that? 39. Obstacle loop 39. Huh. So I fixed the mod by 0 with that. If loop time is 0, maybe I just need to not do anything. If level loop time equals 0, or rather, no, it's not equal 0. Do everything. So can I remove this? Or does that create a new bug? Anyway, it doesn't crash. So nice to edit this. This is so annoying. Now I pretty much remember why I wanted to remove that. So Platinum 2. Sadly.
Je ne pourrai jamais te faire croire qu'il ne fera plus jamais froid. Je ne te donnerai même pas l'espoir. De toute façon, tu n'en veux pas. Tu ne me souriras pas ce soir. Demain matin, je n'y compte pas. Tes yeux bleus se couvrent de noir. Et ça n'est pas du cinéma. Oui, mais je reste planté là.
Comme tes chiens et leur passion.
Et pourtant là, c'est mes
le
bras.
À ton entière disposition. Ok.
Tes lèvres ne me diront pas bonsoir. Ce soir ma gueule te revient pas. La
I
chance
can put that
ton
there.
isoloir. Et tu n'attends plus rien
Rien
de
de
moi.
moi.
Je ne te propose pas de mouchoir. C'est inutile, tu ne pleures pas. Plus rien ne peut plus t'émouvoir. Car désormais plus rien ne va.
Oui, mais je reste planté là. Comme tes chiens et leur passion.
Et pourtant là c'est
C'est mes deux bras.
à ton entière
À disposition.
nos beaux discours
Sont illusoires.
mieux vaut me taire dans ces cas-là. De toute façon tout
T'es provisoire.
j'ai pu l'observer
quelquefois.
Je t'ai blessé sans le vouloir et demain tu me pardonneras. Tu m'as tué sans le savoir, mais demain j'oublierai tout ça et je resterai planté là.
It's so nice that I abstracted every keybind inside of a trigger class.
Pourtant là c'est mes deux bras à ton entière.
Disposition. So I have a cursor now, right? Cursor time. Cursor. Okay, that's crazy how good this feels in comparison. Oh. Perfect. Okay. That's the first part. Second part, I need to be able to drag on this timeline in order to move the cursor. In other words, dun, dun. Oh, let's just check how it looks like. What? When I'm in that mode, I have 300, 500 frames per second. And then it drops, when I'm in the game, it drops to 50. In other words, I have something going on that is massively computer intensive. Okay, break on what I was doing and let's go check. What is it that I'm doing that is massively crazy there? Taking all of my computer. Maybe this. Not that.